Hey everybody, I am going to do a tarot reading on romantic relationships. It just seems to be the focal point of so many people, and it's just the way it is. Um, I was going to use that same framework that I used with the last reading. It's nice, and that will change too, but right now I'm going to use that same one. Um, and as far as relationships goes, I've been celibate for many, many years now. I was celibate prior to coming on this path, which I've been on for about 18 years now. And I actually chose in my heart to let that go. I had a young child at the time, and my focus, I had started doing some meditating and getting very serious about that. And it was my choice to let that go. A big piece of it for me inside, and everyone's got their thing and their timing with this. First of all, I felt as if I had my fill of it. Okay, so even though I've been celibate for so many years, I've been through those games. I've been through the love relationships. I've been through the drama and the heartache of it and the bliss and excitement of it, all of it. And I just really felt like I had, like I say, had my fill and come to the end of the line with that. I also was tired of the drama. That was another thing. There was a lot of, at least for the relationships, I had a lot of games, and that's why in the last one, that card, Love and Power, seems to be a predominant issue with relationships. And again, this isn't to disregard relationships. They've got a potentiality in them. I mean, let's face it, people are going to be involved in them. It's a driving force. Physically, it's a driving force mentally, and it seems to be a natural driving force for so many. It's not to put them down at all. And everyone will go through that experience until they feel ready to let it go or not, in whatever way they go through it. And it is a point of learning. You do need to face yourself a lot in relationships. There's that potential there. So much gets thrown at you. You have to open up, bend, be more flexible or not. And you can, see the drama that comes from that. So this is, like I say, even though I have not been in one for a long time, I do know that experience, and also of raising a child and the family dynamics, and the struggle. The financial, all of it is there. So it's not an easy road to take. And I just feel that within the family, there's just so much breakdown and so many issues now. But this one is focused on romantic relationships, since it's there and it's a huge part of people's world and thoughts, and really a big center there. I would think money and relationships. We might as well do a reading on it. And if it does help to open anything up or get a different viewpoint on it, it would be a good thing. Also I started with this tarot because Guruji gave me those cards, and it's just kind of taking it off now for a while. I don't know how much people connect in with the pendulum readings as they are. I don't know. It's not, something maybe that people are so easily drawn to. So if anyone does want a tarot reading, that's offered too. I've also done work with Guruji, so that's all out there for people if they are at all interested in a more personal reading. Okay, so the cards that were chosen today for this reading on relationships is the Morgan Greer cards that I have used the other day, which I just love. I find these so easy to read. The illustrations, the color, everything about them. And I don't know each one. I just go on this feeling that flows, and the intuition and whatever imagery, whatever, just is the same that has always come and been used. And then there's also the gem. They're not tarot, but the oracle or other cards, and then these are the Osho Zen, which are very nice too. They've just got a nice color and everything to them. Okay, so here we are, and I'm just finding it a hard time to get good lighting in my space here, which is amazing. Being in Florida, you'd think the light would just flood in and be in, and it's just not. It's been a bit, and even to get my setup here, because I usually have my computer in my closet, which is easy because it's just out of the way, and it's a nice little enclosed space, but so just trying to find a good space for this and this setup, and we'll see how it goes. We'll just take it as it comes, okay? So let's start on the reading, and I'm going to put this down like I did the other day. It worked out pretty well, it seemed like, in the way that the cards could be seen. We'll put them down this way and try to work with them. Okay, so let's see which, for this reading on relationships, where do we go here? Start with the Morgan Greer, and I'm going to cut those. And let's see, hold on. See what we use. So this half, this is how I do it. This half is not going to be used in this reading, and I'm going to set them down there. And this half, it looks like something in this is good. It may be the top card, it may not be. So let's just see. Okay, so Strength, it's saying, is a good card to use. And then the beginning of this reading is the overview. So what is the central theme of it? What is the core of this reading? And let's say, okay, this is saying, no, I just am wondering if it's the full deck, no more. Yeah, it's saying no more in that deck at all. Okay, and then we will go to the gems. I usually use more than one card in these readings. It does take a little while. There's a lot of shaking and vibrating on this, which is interesting. If you can see the pendulum shaking, I don't know if it's a yes there. It looks like there's a yes there. Yeah, with this card, abundance. Okay, so anyone there? Boy, that's got a lot of energy in that deck with that shaking and that vibrating that the pendulum was doing. Let's see if there's any in there. Okay, so traveling, that one's not right. So in this case, see, that first one was not right to use. This one, it's saying, is a better card, conditionings, okay? So let's put that down there. And this table isn't the best that I'm using. I believe my bigger table might have been better, but we're going to try this. Okay, so the overview of this reading on romantic relationships is, as one can see, conditioning. And there is some ropes, some chains around this image. And I'm going to get it so you can see it there. You can see the sheep being chained to the lion, you know, so those conditionings being just really stuck and bound in our past dramas, all of this drama, and that people bring to relationships, their past, their expectations, their hurts, their pain, their fears, and many times these are overlaying the relationship, and they're looking for someone to actually get them out of this in many ways, or to help them, or to make them feel better, or, you know, again, not a bad thing. Who doesn't want to feel better, right? Who doesn't want to feel loved and cared for and soothed and all of that? But this is also something that does cause big issues in relationships, as people know. Again, this is something that I'm sure is well known to people. Okay, the other one is abundance. So to look at more of what is good in one's life, what is there that one can bring to actually give more of a fullness to the relationship, give more something that actually adds to it, that helps with it, without a lot of this overlaying. Try to bring more of a freshness of what can we grow from this together. And strength. It does take a lot of strength to weather the storms of relationships. Over time, people grow, they change. Sometimes this is a good thing, sometimes, many times, people don't like it. They want that same person they had before. But you can see how she's holding that lion, that power, without fear. And so it's just, there's a lot of power in also loving someone unconditionally. Many people are afraid of that. What does that mean to just be in such a powerful feeling of this just pure love, and to let go into it? There's a lot of strength in there, a lot of courage that takes. But in terms of what comes, there's so much abundance. So let's see, this is the overview of that reading on relationships, which is the main core. So we will move these down here and go to the next, which is consciously known. What's consciously known to most people in relationships? And there's something here that's consciously known. Is this one correct? This one. Is this one correct? It is. It's interesting. We're going to have to look a little bit more at that card. Any more in this deck? No. Let's see. Something here that is consciously known. Knight of Cups. Is this correct? Okay, that one's not correct. For what is consciously known. Okay, this one, heartache, I would say for sure. So we will keep that and put these back. And I wonder if these cards need to be used. Okay, so the other two cards it's saying do not need to be used, and these are ample in seeing what's consciously known. Now with the High Priestess, for the most part, that means mystery, passivity, stillness, strength. Okay, so let's see if that is to be turned that way or how that's to work. Okay, so this is to be turned the other way, to be honest. Fully around, no. So this is this way. So there we go. So it's a sideways card. So it's just saying that in terms of, some people do know the bliss and fulfillment of relationships. They get the feeling, what drives them is that underlying feeling of that connection more to things, feeling more open, more alive. As you can see, that she's connected with the cosmos. This is part of what does come in relationship, especially in the beginning. And for someone to keep this up in their relationship, that's not easy to do. It really takes a lot of opening up. So that's there. I mean, otherwise people wouldn't be so driven for it if there wasn't anything of pleasure in it, of value, or of, something of, again, what comes more is good feelings, right? Good feelings. So that's there underlying, but then we've got this heartache and the bloodshed. And boy, do people know this one with relationships. It's part of growth, certainly. This is definitely known, this heartache that's in it. And for a lot of reasons, people will pull back into a protective cover with that. And there is some light around that, an aura, which could mean that there is some potential growth in this heartache if one can grow from it and go forward and let go, which doesn't always happen. So those are the two things consciously known in relationships there that came forward. And subconscious. So what's more underneath? What are people not seeing that they need to see? And I'm just going to pull some of these cards real quickly from down here. Interesting, it's the same card chosen, okay, there. And with this one, compassion. See if there's any in this one. Okay, and traveling. Okay, so these are the things that are more hidden for people to feel in relationships, not the traveling. So a lot of what that means is the letting go, the moving forward on a new journey, awakening together, awakening your mind, awakening your heart, awakening your senses, awakening, if a child comes in, awakening to that oneness of life and that wonder too that a child brings. As far as sexuality goes, in that, with compassion there, compassion within sexuality. What is that about, really? And to let go of those games around it. So this is not as known within that field, which doesn't mean people aren't compassionate with each other, but, unconditional love, not as known. Heartache. So heartache is known, but what isn't known as much from it is how to grow from it. I mean, in some ways, but in terms of really going beyond that into something that's richer, that's deeper, that's more awake and alive, and to continue forward, not to go back into a lot of the drama. Okay, so that one is not as consciously known. And let's see, we will go forward into lessons to be learned within relationships. Lessons to be learned. Okay, no. Yes. This is an interesting image, and I'm going to have to look at that one a little bit more. I got the pentacles there. Okay, so no more there. Yeah, I don't know if this is working out to be the best space, but doing what we can here with my space. So, gotta set something up a little better. Oh, it's really going with this. So let's see. Magic. Magic. This is going to... Saying no, that's the compassion card, which was there before. Neutrality. Okay, so those ones we're going to keep and see if there's any more there. Okay, so that looks like it for lessons to be learned. So let's put these over here. And with this one, you see a couple there. They are, it is barred off, and with the door with the pentacles, which is interesting on there. Representative of money or what's of value as well. Really when you look at this, a lot of it has to do with valuing that relationship. Keep it protected without being defensive, in an open way, so that things can stay in this, make it a sanctuary. And that's what it looks like to me. They're going into a sanctuary. It does look a bit barred off from the world, but, even that, I mean, to feel it as being, this is something, again, that we want to make sacred within ourselves. Okay, so that would be lesson to be learned about relationship. Another would be to remain more neutral about things, to in terms of making small petty things blow up to molehills out of mountains out of molehills. Stay more neutral, stay more balanced, stay more objective in relationships, and not take things so personally. And magic. I like this one. I like the magic card. Make magic happen in your relationships. Have fun, let things bloom, laugh, play, see what comes of it. Really, two people together in love and families too can really make magic happen. There's so much, life is such a is so entertaining, really. And one thing that sometimes you judge something is, oh, there is that annoying thing again. But if you can open up to it, laugh at it, go with it, it opens up to another thing entirely. It's not what you thought it was to begin with, which again is what the magic is. Okay, the magic is going to play with you, not in such a good way, to make you see things not as they are. So it really is about looking more objectively. So these are good lessons there within relationships. And the other one is coming into play. So what's going to come more forward in the universe for relationships? We always hope good things are going to happen and bloom in the world, don't we? I mean, and if people are happy in their relationships, treat them with respect and their children well and open up. I mean, this is something that helps us all. So that's another thing. We feel it. We feel a shift. Okay, so what's coming into play? Let's see, so it's saying that that one is a no. Wow, silence would be a nice thing, and let's hope for that one. Yeah, that would be great. Ripeness, how nice. No more there, no more there. Okay, those are great possibilities if that would happen. There is a little bit more with this Morgan Greer down here. Let's see. Oh, it's got the Magician again. Interesting. Okay, so coming into play. And let's see where these cards should go. Should this be upright? No. What way should it be? Completely turned. Sideways. No, not sideways. Yes, sideways. Okay. Ripeness. Let's keep it this way. This is good. See, it's saying, okay, good, that way. This one is right that way, and this one is okay this way. Okay, so we got them all in the right standing. What's coming into play? All right, so we have the Magician with the infinity sign up there. So again, the magic, and there is magic in the universe, things that are there's so much that blooms from this place of you have no idea how it happens. It just happens. A lot of beauty, a lot of things there. These things could always be used in a negative way and looked at that way. But with this one, it looks like there is, it's really speaking to that potential you see as the infinity sign above him. The growth, the cup is full. He's got the pentacle, he's got the blooming around him. So it's just a matter of how are you going to use this magic now? It's there. How are you going to use these gifts and this potentiality that's there for things to bloom and to happen and to change? And it is saying, ripeness is there and needs to be there. So to look at this, there's a ripeness there. There's that possibility every moment to have something bloom different, to have this succulent fruit to taste, ripe fruit. And once it's ripe, and then there can be a change. Okay, so the silence is always there, and that, if that was in a relationship, if you could imagine that relationship, one that was within stillness, it just would be a phenomenal thing. It just would be something that, you know, um, would bring, I just believe it would be interesting because I believe everything about it would be just so much richer. And yet there'd be a connection, but there would also be that objectivity and you know, not being lost in the drama of it. And one would know too that there's nothing lost. So if one would feel that there's nothing lost, the fear would go. And then you could only imagine a relationship, whether that person was here or not. You know, because the truth is you're going to lose that person eventually in body. You know, things go on and they move forward. But, you know, if one just knew that in their heart and they that a thing there of that worry about that loss or change or what's going to happen to them, these things, that fear going, and to just be more present, that would be a magnificent relationship. So it really is, you know, if people could move towards this more, it would only benefit them, their family, their children, all of it, all of it. So this is something that has the potentiality to come into play, and let's hope this does. That looks really good. So, and let's go into what our guides are telling us about relationships. What are our guides saying as far as relationships go? So I'm just going to break these up and see. I like the Osho Zen as well to work with. They're very nice. Okay. Understanding. Okay. This one too. Moment by moment. Can't beat that. Okay, no more there. And those are good cards right there. And we'll just keep those. I really believe that says it all. So let's just make sure there's nothing more to be said to make this a fuller no. So it's just, you know, understanding. And one can see the bars there and the doves. The one is still behind there, but it's open. They can always fly out and be free. It really looks like the others are beckoning them. Come out, fly in this vast space. You know, you don't keep yourself behind bars and isolated, or like, you know, you're separate, or you're the only one going through this, or you don't, you know, no one understands me, or I can't understand anyone else. You know, so it's just open up, fly out, take a chance, take a risk. You know, and if a relationship doesn't come, and it's not meant to be two, so just leave that. Let it bloom and fly in its own time, or not. But, you know, if again, if you're moment by moment, you know, then things come and unfold in their right timing. And you can see he's just stepping across those rocks, looking free. The water is there flowing. You know, no worries really. I'm just here now. That's it. You know, what comes, comes, totally open. So this is what our guides are helping us with. And this would help with everything in life. Understanding and moment by moment. Okay? And we've got a couple more with these readings. Guides. So let's do the last one. Let's do, what is the direction now of the reading? Or actually, there's hopes and fears, so we don't want to give that one up. Hopes. What are our hopes and fears as far as relationships go? What do we really have in there that we'd like to see in our heart of hearts with them? Unconditional love. You know, and everyone, I believe, for the most part, that is what they like. Even the ones that come out and behave in the most heinous ways. Or they just don't have access for that forgiveness. Okay. Nothing else. Anything more? Again, neutrality, objectivity. Stepping back, looking at it with a different view. Not so judgmental in it. Not so attached and clinging and, oh, they have to serve me in this way. And this has to serve me in that way. And they didn't do this, so I've got to get back at them at that. You know, or I'm just going to stay closed up to make them, you know, hurt because they hurt me, or, all of the games. We all know it. Listen, like I say, I've been through relationships. I know the games. Um, I do indeed. Okay, so this is what, and this is the truth of it. Most people want to see this in their heart of hearts. They want to see neutrality. They want to be forgiven, and they want to forgive. uh, which is helps to keep a fresh slate. You don't even have to say that in words with people. You can say it in prayer, or you can just let go within, open up, and let those wounds be abraded so you don't bring them in as another layer to your next experience with relationship or your next, whatever comes. You're not bringing that in. Unconditional love. So this has to do with both things. It's more the love of the self. We want to say the pure self, or what you've been given on this earth to work with, to be with, to experience, and unconditional love for others. So, again, this goes both ways. Open up, look at them, try to let go more of judgments. But, this is in the heart of all that's there as a seed, or, it's just, and I believe it's what people want to move towards. So it's just taking the right steps to go towards that. Okay, so that's that. And now, what is the direction? So what was the main goal or focus of this reading? Last but not least, see what happens. Okay, so there's a card there. Let him go. What a surprise. Like you've ever, no one's ever heard that one before, right? Never. Participation. And, okay, that one's understanding again. I think we got that one. So we'll see if this one's a moment by moment. They're going to keep them. Those, they're saying, are good too, so don't forget those. Okay, and then it's saying this one. Okay, so mind. Okay, so I think this is good for the direction of the reading, and let's just make sure there's nothing more down in this area. No, so, okay. So this is the main direction of this reading is with relationships, love relationships, romantic relationships, but they could certainly be put on any relationship for that matter. It's really the same, the heart of it. So what the direction would be is, and this is an interesting card, and you can see it's participation. You can see all the hands in there in the center. As really like a flower, a flowering that comes from all working together in harmony as best possible. If there's going to be fights, there's going to be different things, but to just let go and keep going and keep opening, it can only serve you well. A lot of people, if I open up, I'm going to get hurt again. You hear that so much in relationships. It's just, because they used me, they abused me, so I'm going to keep myself in this shell and look at from this hard stance. And, really, it's just the more that you do open and put out certain vibes, you're going to attract different people. That's the reality of it. And again, you might need time alone more to do these things and then see what flowers. But it's just a matter of opening up, participation. So when you're with someone, working together on things as a team, really, even with your children too. And I like to throw them in there. They're our future, and to have that blooming as well. They love to be a part of things. So participating more, not shutting down, or I'm gonna isolate myself because this happened, or this happened to me, or I won't speak my true heart. I mean, it's so refreshing when someone's honest and speaking their true heart, even if it's not going to work out the relationship. In your soul, you've been honest with yourself. Okay, so mind would be the other one. People are very lost in that, and you can see this all the different compartments in there. It's such a different feeling than this letting go, which we want to put over it as our final, and say that, you can see the growth there. I mean, nature does it naturally. We have that in us. Letting go, opening up, participating in that process, and not just waiting for something to happen or someone else to take care of you or someone else to make it right or to soothe all your wounds. Participate now in that. We need it so badly. I mean, really, the relationships and things in family life are the core of our energy here, and what we feel so much in the universe. It's a huge thing. I mean, certainly we have the pure consciousness and the cosmos and all that, but in terms of more on the earthly plane, those things, if those things can start from the basic things, and even if, you don't know in life, there's always that risk, but it's really about just starting now within yourself, and the truth is when you do open your heart and on spiritual paths, many times what is not needed and what's not best for yourself, because many times you don't know what's best for yourself. I can tell you, I've been through that many times, and will fall away. We're our own worst enemy, and we go towards things. I'm going to do the same thing again, and I'm going to get it right, and it doesn't get right again many times. So, it's just another lesson, and to take those lessons and grow, and we can only hope. We're trying to, hopefully, all of us together in participation and letting go can help create a new world, a new universe for our children, for all of us, and for relationships. And, it'd be so great if those were loving, beautiful experiences for people, whether however long they last and what they are, if they're within honesty and things. All you can start and be an example for yourself and your children, and to have respect within your own self. You take away that you did your best with all of it. You didn't get involved in a lot of the games. You kept your heart open. You were honest. You just kept going, and that's all we can do in ourselves. And then just whatever path you're on, be it just regular worldly stuff and trying to be an honest person, or on a spiritual path that it feels sincere, is just one foot in front of the other, and things will shift. Okay, so thank you for being here. I hope I'll have a beautiful day. Namaste. Bye-bye.